Assalamu alaikum students, hope that you all are fine and your SST class for class 7 is going to start. Our new topic is inside the earth. As the name shows you, inside the earth, unit number 2. But before going inside the earth, we need to search that where we are. We are standing on the earth, outside the earth, on the crust of the earth. As you all know that earth is a biosphere. It is a ball-like, a sphere-like structure where the regions and the cracks are present outside and inside the earth. So where we are standing at this position on the crust, on the outer side of the earth, and the plants, where the plants are also human plants. These all are present on the outside or the outermost layer of the earth, that is known as crust. So we are standing, our school is at the crust of the earth, our home is at the crust of the earth. We are not living inside the earth, we are living outside on the earth at the sphere of the earth. This is known as crust. The outermost or the thinner part is crust. Let's suppose our earth is an egg. The egg is having a thin outer hard shell as compared to the inner material. The inner material is white in color and the innermost is the egg yolk, that is yellow in color. This is how the earth is divided into 3 layers. In an egg, the first shell or the outer membrane is the shell, that is the white part, and the hard part, it is like the crust. The middle part is the white layer of the egg and the innermost is the yellow part, that is also known as egg yolk. This is how the earth is a ball-like structure, an apple-like structure. It is a sphere. So if we cut down or we go deep down and we cut a slice like pizza that reaches to the middle of the earth like this. So we divide the earth into 3 regions that are known as core, mantle and crust. Crust is the outermost, where we are present at the surface. It is the thinnest part of the earth. Mantle is the middle one and the core is the innermost. This part is known as core. For your convenience, you may open your book and keep open your book page number 14 and you will see the image like this. Now we are going to discuss the main layers, the 3 main layers of the earth. The 3 main layers of the earth, you may see that this one is the core, this part is known as the core, this one is the mantle, the middle one, and the upper one or the topmost or the thinmost is the crust. Above the crust there is ocean. The water covers the crust. The sea and oceans are present above the crust and we are also standing on the crust. So crust is the surface and the outermost membrane of the earth or outermost part of the earth where we stay. Now these layers further divided into many layers or many characters. For example, ocean. And you may see beneath the ocean the crust is the thinnest part. This one is the crust and then this one is the asthenosphere. Now the lithosphere. Lithosphere is consisting of these 2, that is consisting of crust and top part of mantle. This one is mantle, the upper part of the mantle that makes up the lithosphere. Now the further more layers of the earth inside the earth, what is present inside the earth, it is very difficult to go deep down into the earth, but the geologists, the scientists describe the 3 main layers of the earth and now we are going to discuss further section of these layers. So the crust, which is the topmost layer, that is the thinnest part of the earth, is about 35 kilometer. The length or the depth in the thickest part like this is 35 kilometer. But in the thinnest part, it reaches to the 8 kilometer. That is very less or little area. Now the next layer is lithosphere. Now these two layers, lithosphere and asthenosphere. Lithosphere is consisting of crust, as you may see, and the top part of the mantle. So the lithosphere is almost about 60 kilometers in length, that is, or in depth, that is the double area as compared to the crust. Crust is only about 35 kilometer thick, while the lithosphere is almost about 60 kilometer thick. Now the next layer is asthenosphere. Asthenosphere is consisting of the upper part of the mantle, and the rest of this is the lower mantle. So asthenosphere is almost 700 kilometer deep. The depth of asthenosphere is 700 kilometer. Students, keep open your book and keep a notebook in your hand and mark your main key points from the book or from the lecture. The next part is lower mantle. Lower mantle is having a depth 2890 kilometer. That is huge. It is the lowest section of the mantle just above the core. Core is the deepest part, and the asthenosphere is the plastic-like material. Crust, as we said, that it is the hard material, hard substance. Lithosphere is plastic-like, while lower mantle is somehow denser than asthenosphere. But the outer core having a molten content, and the inner core is consisting of solid part and consisting of iron, nickel and some other hard metals that gives it hardness. some of you may start thinking that how we may describe with this cone or with this pizza slice shape the inside the earth structure. Consider the earth like a melon, like an apple, like a ball, and we cut down a section. If we cut down a section to the middle part of the earth, so then we divide the earth into these layers. Now the last or the innermost part, like if it is a sphere of the earth and this one is the inner core and the outer core. Look at this diagram as we have enlarged this into the chart. So these sections or these parts are the innermost part, that is known as core, and core is further divided into outer and inner core. Outer core is consisting of upper section of core that is containing molten rock that we discussed in unit number 1 in the igneous rock that have a molten material or content. It is 5,155 km deeper inside the earth, and the inner core is the central part of the earth, that is the hardest part of the earth, and that is consisting of 6,360 km depth, and it is consisting of iron, nickel and phosphorus, other metals and materials. Students, so here we have discussed all the layers of the earth. Around the crust, above the crust, the atmosphere is present. If we compile the whole lecture or class, so there are only 3 main layers: innermost core, the middle one mantle, and the outer one is the crust. These layers further divided into lithosphere, asthenosphere, lower mantle, outer core, inner core. So the three main crust, mantle and core, and further the crust and the top part of mantle are combined together form lithosphere. Upper part of the mantle is known as asthenosphere. Lower mantle, the rest of the part of the mantle is known as lower mantle. The core is divided into 2 sections, outer core and the inner core. Clear? So now you have homework. In the homework you have 7 questions that will cover all the content that we have discussed today. So students, you must be very careful while choosing the answer. Do not write too long answer must be short, 2 to 3 sentences. Do not exceed the limit of the answer from 2 to 3 sentences. Don't exceed the limit of the answer. So in which you will arrange the sequence of the layers of the earth, and then you will describe the main layers of the earth, and you will draw the diagram in your copy with the color pencils and markers. You may draw the diagram on a computer paper that must be a light color or white in color. Then you will use the colors easily on it. And you may also draw it directly in your copy, but if you use a computer paper, that will be good. So it's a fact that is present on book page number 14. You will definitely write down with the heading "It's a fact" and then write down the points that are present. It's a fact. You may see in the book, on book page number 14 of yours, this one, it's a fact. So students, keep reading, keep studying, stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.